Hey everybody, it's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. I have an update for you regarding Royal Caribbean, the Quantum of the Seas, the latest victim. Thank you for joining my channel, subscribing to Traveling with Bruce, giving my videos thumbs ups. Thanks for joining my Facebook group page and also becoming a follower on Traveling with Bruce on Instagram. Oh my, we're everywhere. And talking about going everywhere, we're going on a trip this December. Speaking of Royal Caribbean, on the Harmony of the Seas, we're heading for Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Why don't you join us this December for a one-week cruise out of Port Canaveral? Ambrin Travel is handling everything for us. You'll find their logo right here at the bottom right. Details are just down below. We're going to be away for 7 days, 3 sea days. We're going to see St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay. We'd love to have you join us. It'll be a chance to meet us in person. I think we're going to have a good time. All the details down below. All right, let's talk about Royal Caribbean, the Quantum of the Seas. This ship was built just for the purpose of being in Asia, along with the Spectrum of the Seas, 2 of the Ultra Quantum class ships, beautiful ships, $1 billion a piece, spent by or invested by Royal Caribbean to take advantage of the growing Asia market. We just found out this morning, here we are, the 12th of February 2020, that the Quantum of the Seas has just announced 2 sailings that will be canceled. 2 9-day sailings, February the 15th and February the 24th. The February 15th sailing is out of Singapore, and it was supposed to take a tour all the way to Hong Kong, where the ship was to start a cruise on the 24th of February for 9 days back to Singapore. These have both been canceled, and we now await what happens as of March the 4th, because March the 4th, this ship is supposed to be sailing out of Singapore towards Malaysia on a series of 4 and 5 day cruises. Basically, Singapore is the home port of the Quantum of the Seas. The problem is that Singapore is now instituting travel bans, and they are not allowing cruise ships in and out of the port as easy as before. There are now rumors and worries about quarantine periods being instituted. If just one person has a fever, all bets are off. We're talking about these Quantum class ships here. 5,000 passengers easily can be accommodated on these ships. With cruise sizes, 16, 17, 1,800 people. We're looking at a huge number of people. And the nightmare scenario for a cruise line is a ship comes in to try to dock, and they have ill passengers, and the entire ship is put on a 14-day quarantine period. We don't want that. I can tell you this right now. Passengers don't want to have it happen, to be restricted to their cabins for 14 days. Cruise lines don't want to be responsible for 5, 6, 6,500 people for 2 weeks on a ship. They don't want this either. Another ship that has already been shut down is the Spectrum of the Seas, another Royal Caribbean ship. The Spectrum of the Seas has been using Shanghai as its home port. The hope was for Royal Caribbean that they would have a beachhead in China and really develop a strong following of cruisers. Great idea. 2 brand new ships, $1 billion a piece, can handle 5,000 passengers per cruise. The problem is you can't get in and out of Shanghai right now. You cannot travel on a cruise ship in any port in Japan, South Korea. You can't get in and out of Hong Kong, shut down. Taiwan, shut down. The Philippines with Manila, closed. Singapore now is closed. This is spreading out, and there are more and more cruise ships going idle in the Asia area, and this is only February. We're talking about the Spectrum of the Seas, Quantum of the Seas being full-timers down here. These ships are supposed to be here for the next 2 years. And how many passengers have canceled out? How many are not interested in the next 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months even thinking of traveling down to these areas? Because once this crisis is averted and passed, how long will it take for passengers to have confidence to fly into Hong Kong or Singapore or Shanghai, you name the Asian area, and take a cruise where at the end of the cruise, if only one person on that ship that you're on displays symptoms of a fever and a cough, you could possibly be in a 2-week quarantine scenario that we're watching play out right now in Yokohama, Japan, with the Diamond Princess for Princess Cruise Lines. We will be watching this. There's no question about it. I'm really curious to see what these major cruise lines are going to do. Are they going to literally redeploy these billion-dollar assets to different regions entirely for the next 6 months or a year before they come back here? Is cruising ruined in Asia for the next year, or is this going to be temporary? Can cruise lines discount these cruises so low that they'll entice people to take the chance? I have no idea. I think in the next month or two, I think all bets are off. We may see a 1 or 2 month complete shutdown of all cruising in this region, and then the odd brave soul will try to get into this business again. I just don't know. I cannot understand or cannot contemplate how long Royal Caribbean, for example, will tolerate their ships not working. Keep in mind, folks, each of these ships have thousands of workers on board. They have dozens of suppliers that they have signed contracts with for food and services and everything else, all the entertainers. These people are being paid to do nothing, and that isn't going to last long. These are publicly traded companies. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, with its cruise line, Princess, Holland America, Cunard, they're not going to sit around and wait. They also own Costa Cruising. And then there's Norwegian with its fleet, and MSC, and away we go. I mean, it just does not end. This is billions of dollars of assets idle, not working, with no end in sight when this is going to be over with, and they can move back into normal. And the other question, of course, we all have is this problem going to spread out of Asia into Australia? Is it going to spread out to the Mideast? And what about the European cruise season coming up? Because we're going to leave the Caribbean in the next 3 months, and all these ships will be redeployed around the world for Northern Europe, Mediterranean, Alaska cruising. Folks, this could really spread out, and we're already seeing the beginnings of it. 21 ships in Asia are already affected, and now Royal Caribbean has 2 of their premier top-of-the-line cruise ships that are going to be shut down for a while, and we'll have to see for how long. Anyway, there you go. Thanks again for joining and following my videos. I really appreciate it. I hate to sound like a broken record, but these updates are just depressing. But I promise you, I will stay on top of this story as best as I can, as long as my voice holds out. Thanks again for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for thumbs ups on these updates. Thank you for following me on my Facebook group page, Traveling with Bruce, and also come on over to the Instagram page for updates there too. We'll talk to you later, everybody. Bye for now.